Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be doing a review of MicroMachines Star Wars mini heads. These came out in 1997 to coincide with the re-release of George Lucas's 20th anniversary of the Star Wars trilogy, where he added extra scenes, did some cleanups, things like that. Fun to see. Kind of a big fan of the original trilogy, but you tell me which one was your favorite. And today, these little heads are going to get opened up and see what's going on. Again, these were made in 1997 and released in several different ways. There was a 7-head collection. On the back, you can see here there were also some 3-head collection packs. If you were interested in just minifigures, there were different versions where, say, you could get a series of Jawas, or perhaps if you wanted some of the classic Star Wars characters. And even more than that, on the back you could see there were everything from Rebel soldiers to Sand People to Imperial Guards, all types of different versions if you wanted to create your own little world or scenario or build up something. There were also some larger heads that came out that opened up into play sets that came with individual figures you could add and subtract all these characters, really enhance the playtime with this. So very clever designs, and I'll be doing some future videos on those as well. But today we'll be opening again this set here, and something I'm interested in really checking out is regarding the Greedo head, which is not open, and the Gamorrean Guard head right here. If you look on the back, the artwork shows, and of course I know they say with packages, colors, and products may vary based on production and how the art directors decide to go with it, but looking at the Rancor here in the picture, it shows that he's crushed by a gate. I've seen pictures in the past of this same head with the Rancor standing fully at the gate, so I'm curious which one in the box we're going to see. Also with the Greedo, same thing. I've noticed a difference where I've seen Greedo heads that open up and they have what looks like Han Solo sitting at the table, which makes sense, but in the case of this picture, it shows the interior of the cantina. Now that could have been a different alteration for the head here with the individual sets, but again, never having owned those three, I'm curious if the ones in here are matching the box, or we're going to find out. So let's take a look at these. I'll do which one up close really quick. And also, one other version I got was Pizza Hut back at that time offered for pan pizzas, little individual heads as well. So I've got a 2-1B right here. I'm very excited to open that one. It's one of my favorite droids in Star Wars. And also a Wampa. So again, they had versions where it was in the store as a 7-head, 3-pack, Pizza doing their own promotional offer. So different ways to get them out there and collect them all. So let's take a look and see which one is your favorite. All right, first we're going to take a look at is the Jawa. I kind of pre-cracked each head open so it wouldn't be so difficult on film to open these up, but haven't taken a look inside of the ones that were closed yet, so we're going to do that together. Of course, I'll look at the Jawa again. Here it is right here. Nice and easy, open up there. I guess for their eyes, I love the yellow eyes. I guess these are, I'm not sure what it's supposed to represent in the desert, but look, there's some little junk or something there, little piles of boxes there. In the background, we have the Jawa Sandcrawler with the 2 suns. I think they'd have been better off having the negative space, more room, maybe another droid standing there, having the 2 eye holes be the suns themselves, and just have those be a solid yellow piece. But either way, still some great artwork on the back, and a little Sandcrawler with the door, with the ramp down, the twin suns. Of course, the figure itself is right here. Very, very small, very cool. And looking at the pack of the ones that come fully, I'm noticing that this Jawa is different than all the other ones in the pack. There are only 3 versions in the pack, 3 poses, but of course 6 or 9 total figures there. But the gun here is on the right. So interesting that they give you a little bit of a variety by getting this head. You're not buying something that you could easily just buy a set of and have all the same figures. He's pointing his gun off to his left, whereas the other guys are pointing off to the right. So cute little guy. And of course he stands in his little spot. So apologies if not everything focuses. I'm trying my best to keep the right distance and let you get a good detail of all the pieces. So bear with me. Moving on to Darth Vader. Got his head right here now. Okay, that looks like a little mouse droid on the bottom, and oh, look at that. In the picture on the box, let's take another look together here. Surprising find. Picture on the box shows it being him on the bridge of the Imperial Star Destroyer. Good, lost my mind for a second there. Whereas this guy here, we've got the Emperor sitting in his throne. So an unexpected different print. I have never seen that in photographs or pictures of any kind. It's always been the interior of the Star Destroyer. So very neat to discover that. And again, looks like a little mouse droid there on the ground as well. And I noticed that they've got little pegs that can fit in the hole on the figure. So nice and snug right there. Of course, sadly you can't close the head while the figure is standing, but need to display it that way in itself. That the lids are fairly secure where you could sit on the table and it does stay balanced. So if you want to show off the interiors with each figure standing in it, neat little sculpt. So let's move on. Let's see what we got next. Here are we looking at Nien Nunb. Of course, he's Lando's co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon. Cool head, and I've seen this already opened up, and it looks like the interior of the Millennium Falcon. And of course, they made him in a seated position, which I really think is the only time you see him. I'm not sure at the end of Jedi if he was celebrating up in the trees, clapping. I believe he may have been. So he did have a standing moment, and of course, in the latest trilogy that came out, not a fan. There's him again. But for this movie, mostly he was seen seated in the Millennium Falcon. So looks like he goes right in there, nice and snug. So very neat, very cool. I think, can you close in with a minute? It looks like, yeah, I didn't want to snap it all the way, but it looks like you can pretty much close the head with him in the seated position. So neat little option for the figure. I believe there's an Imperial pilot that they made in a head where he's sitting in a seat and he's facing that way, looking outside a window of his TIE fighter. So nice little head. All right, moving on. We've got Admiral Ackbar. I'm going to open it up here. And it looks like another Mon Calamari figure staying there, along with, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart who he is. Can't think of it at the moment, but you figure out General Nadine. General Nadine. Kind of looking at this paint mark here. Looks like they did a little bit of a Hitler haircut here. I'm not sure, I'm sure you're painting these in the factory and doing as many as you can, getting them out, but can't say. I remember his hair being a little lighter, if I believe. This looks more a lot black. But regardless, very cool to have the three-dimensional relief of the figures in the background. They're almost extra figures if you could pop them out, but I believe there's nothing on the back of them. It's just more of a form-fitted place on the back. But of course, here's the center of the bridge, I guess, where he's given his briefing. Again, little peg to put him in. I noticed they don't all have that if I've seen some of the pictures as well, so we're going to take a look and see. All right, let's get to the three that I was most excited about here. This is, of course, Boushh. Looks like the interior of Jabba's palace, of course, because there's Han Solo and carbonite on the wall. Great little piece. Looks like it could almost pop out and be used for another set. I may have to find out if that's possible. If I have a small screwdriver, I don't want to damage it, but I would love to see if that piece is an individual sculpt. It sure looks like it in the mold, but again, looks like you have the floor of Jabba's palace, and of course you've got Boushh here, and that's Leia with her helmet off, standing at the ready, like she's ready to get down to business here. I did see a set of just bounty hunters, including Boushh, and also with a Jabba set that showed Boushh with the helmet on. Here, I think, is the only time that you see where Leia has the helmet off, revealing who she is. So let's see, she's got the little peg, got the little hole, fit her in there. Nice. Yeah, really digging the detail of that carbonite Han Solo for such a small toy. It is incredibly well done. So that's one of my favorites right there. So moving on to the two mystery heads, or actually technically Darth Vader was more of a surprise mystery, but in the case of these two, the ones I really wanted to know about, here's the Rancor head. Here's the figure itself. And I've seen him in other packages where, again, he has a different weapon or different pose. So neat to still, again, get a head where you're getting a detailed figure that isn't just matching from a bulk set or some other play set. This figure is exclusively made for this head. So there he is there. Cute little guy. Let's take a look ahead, see what we got. Is Rancor standing or is he crushed by the gate? He is standing. Look at that. Which I actually prefer. The other one looks very strange. That is so detailed. That's very neat. You can see the gate is raised right there. And there's the Rancor standing there, ready to gobble up that Gamorrean guard. And on the bottom, we've got some bones. That must be the one that Luke grabs later to kill the Rancor with, or at least get in his mouth and give him a chance to escape and then throw the rock in the gate and knock that gate down. So yeah, very much. Oh, there's the panel. Looks like maybe that's the panel he throws a skull at. But yeah, that's great, great detail of that little guy with his demise about to take place. So yeah, so cool. Let's stick him on here. His little pad. And there you go. He has no idea the future that awaits, but he's about to die. So moving on, the last head of this set, Greedo. Again, I'm wondering, will it be the cantina interior or will it be Han Solo sitting at the table? Of course, take a quick look at Greedo. There he is. Oops, back up here. There you go. Again, apologies if it gets a lot of focus. Try my best to keep it in the right range so you can get a good look at the detail of the figures here. That is well done. All right, let's take a look. Let's reveal. It is what I saw in a picture. There is Han Solo sitting at the table. Still the cantina interior, but not the other aliens they portrayed in the picture provided. I'm not sure who that guy, I guess it's a little, the little guy who got the drink off the table. He's neat, did not expect to see him. I've only just seen angles like this where it showed Han Solo sitting at the table. So very cool to have this version. I prefer it. I have nothing against getting to the heads. Maybe I'll have to find the 3-head pack somewhere and see if it is, again, made exclusively for the 3-pack heads, or if it was just a production design that they decided to go differently with and go more with Han Solo sitting at the table. So these came out really neat. And let's see, again, he's got his little, actually he should be more facing him. I'm gonna do this. There you go. If he's gonna be approaching Han, there you go. That's how he should be. Otherwise, he's just walking out. So there you go. That was the set of those bad boys right there. I'm gonna take a look at my Pizza Hut heads. I'm most excited about because these were ones that were, again, two of my favorite characters. And the fact that these are made exclusively for Pizza Hut, these weren't made in individual sets you could buy with the other ones I showed you. So Pizza Hut had an exclusive set, several heads in fact. I'm sorry I don't have more or a picture, but you have to look for online. Put in Pizza Hut MicroMachines Star Wars heads and you'll see the other version that they had. And again, I think they all are individually made specifically for Pizza Hut. So lots of different ways to get these and not have doubles. So let's take a look at Wampa. Sorry, collectors, but I like to see the toy. So we got Wampa here. Nice detail, and got his mouth open. Is that his tongue sticking out? I have a feeling that's going to be inside the interior, which could be strange. We'll take a look. Let's pop him open here. And there we go. Got a little Wampa right there. Let's take a look at him first. Looking cool. Not super big. I mean, compared to the figures, you know, it's not like he's a large scale size, as you might be twice the size. But for the MicroMachines head, I guess they were limited to what they could fit a figure inside. But he is very detailed. I see the little horns on the side of his head, the fur. The interior looks like Luke hanging upside down the cave, and perhaps that's his lightsaber there in the snow. So that is a neat little opening, I guess, for him to escape out of, if that was a perspective. And the tongue, I guess, is just a big tongue just sticking up out of the ground. Very strange. I'd almost rather it have been have this be closed, have the inside maybe be a stalagmite where it's just a big white cone of ice, or maybe the remains of a creature that he's eaten, something. But very odd choice to have it, but it does give the head some dimensions, having the tongue sticking out of the teeth. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now let's stick him over here. He doesn't have the recessed hole that normally the other figures have, where you can see where the round, you know, base might go into. This is just straight snow, but it does have the little pegs. So I'll stick him on there. Oh, maybe it doesn't go on as well as the others do. Maybe it's a Pizza Hut thing. Oh, okay, we'll work on that later. But yeah, there he is standing, staring at his giant tongue. So very odd, but yeah, still a cool piece. Love the interior of the cave. Let's get to my absolute favorite. Very excited. 2-1B. Oh yeah, here he is. Loving that. Clear eyes. That's neat. Not sure what the interior is going to relate to in that area. So it looks like it's there, but I'm seeing this is made out of a clear plastic that they molded and then painted paint on top. So very, very neat to see that they went to that extent to incorporate the clear aspects of his eyes and sides of his head. Let's crack this baby open. And there he is. And those are just some clear, maybe just some control consoles. And I guess it could work both ways. He doesn't have a peg in his feet or a peg on the board, any kind of hole in the feet or the board. But there is a Luke Skywalker. Again, I didn't realize I had two Pizza Hut heads, both portraying Luke Skywalker in different scenarios. That makes sense. Here he is in the bay. I'm assuming this could be either getting his butt kicked by the Wampa, or this could be when he was about to get his robot hand at the end of the movie. So either way, neat to see. I'm thinking it's Hoth. But who knows? Looking at the interior, again, looks like it's almost like you're getting an extra figure right there, as he's, you know, three-dimensionally molded and printed right into there. Very neat to see. He does have a small square where I guess he could stand. And be taking care of Luke. But yeah, he is really neat. And they did the same thing here again. They printed him, or they molded him in clear. Oops. molded them in clear, and then painted the blue on there. Wow, that is something. I'm surprised that they went that route. They could have easily just made a gray figure or silver figure with some blue interior, but nope, they made him clear plastic and painted the blue and silver just so you could have his chest and the sides of his head. Wow, this is my favorite. Not only is he my favorite droid, but he's my favorite Micro Machine figures. So those are really well made. Gosh, this came out in 96. I've seen some great toys today and some figures and sculpts, but for 96 back then, for this small detail, and to go to the exactness of it, wow, very, very cool. So there you go. Here they are, all nice and displayed. Doesn't take a lot of room to show them off. I love the detail in these. I love the size of them. Very fantastic find. I look forward to finding some more. Did you have these as a kid? Do you have them as an adult? Let me know in the comments below. Also, leave a like and subscribe for future videos where, again, I mentioned before, I'll be doing reviews on the larger playset heads that open up into worlds such as Jabba the Hutt, C-3PO, or 2D2, and the like. If you haven't seen those, looking forward to unboxing them. So again, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Carl. Thanks again.